Orlando 60-52.
Johnny Dawkins told us before the game, we have to limit our turnovers. We know what Iowa State can do if they get out in transition, and we've got to compete on the glass. They are improving in that area.
Size advantage to Iowa State. Cyclones win the tip, and they open up with the ball. The third straight game, Iowa State with Jones in that lineup. And Chilovich, the surgery earlier today on the injured hand, he is expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So Curtis Jones and that high-powered offense into that starting lineup. Early turnover for the Cyclones, and now UCF with their starting five and the talented big man underneath, the 7-foot, 2-inch freshman Mustafa Cham. They get an early touch for Kashawn Hall, and he leaves the shot short. Jones with that patented floater gets the friendly Hilton bounce.
That's a bad shot for most guards in the country, but it's just routine for him.
Iowa State draws first blood. Here's Johnson inside. Nice pass off to Cham.
They worked on that in practice today. They had to play with physicality on their drives. The Knight staff thought, look, we've been too soft taking the ball to the rim. Take it in there with physicality, then drop it off and make things happen.
Cham coming off a career-high 18-point performance over the weekend. Jackson inside and the foul, and Deshaun Jackson to the free throw line for a pair.
Well, TJ Otzelberger told you today his #1 key, we want to get on the offensive glass. He felt like they had an advantage there, and they also need to move the ball.
Johnny Dawkins was a fun one to watch back in his day. #2 all-time scorer at Duke, went on for a successful 9-year run in the NBA, year #9 in Orlando, trying to get the Knights back into the NCAA tournament.
I don't know if there's a more respected coach in America than that guy right there. Played with Jeff Hornacek with the 76ers, a legendary Iowa State player, but when these games start, the coaches want to talk to him forever, right? The line is 10 guys deep. Everybody wants to learn from him, and he's just a great ambassador. We had a wonderful time conversating with him this afternoon.
What he tell us, his way of paying back to a sport that has given him so much, the opportunity to work with these young athletes, and the soft touch, the kiss off the glass from Ivy Curry.
This is a good UCF team. This is the team that had Houston beat a few days ago. Missed free throws down the stretch, or they would have picked up a signature win.
UCF with the early 1-point lead. Here goes Jones attacking past that 7'2" wingspan of Cham, and Jones with a second bucket.
It goes off the wrong foot, fades away to the baseline, kisses it up there, and it falls in. Just a brilliant shot maker.
Here goes Hall running into a double team. Cham, who has wonderful range. This one won't go. Lipsy clears it for Iowa State. Iowa State, the top scoring team in the Big 12, 83 points per night, and the soft touch underneath from Jefferson.
Loves to take advantage of smaller forwards. I'd like to see him take more three-point shots. He's only hit 5 on the year, but he's got to gain confidence in that area. They're going to leave him open, but if he gets it on the post, it's usually lights out.
Ivy Curry in and out. Jones the rebound. He'll put up that floater again. This time falls short. Good hustle play by Jackson to save it. Second chance. Jones lets her fly. No, but there's Lipsy. And the third crack proves to be the charm for Iowa State.
Well, they talk about offensive rebounds. All the Cyclones coming to the rim. You have to put a body on these guys. Just a great play by #3 to keep it alive.
6-0 run by Iowa State. Keyshawn Hall, a 3-level scorer, put up 40 a couple of games ago against Arizona State. He can hit the outside shot, and he can attack the basket like he did there.
Can you imagine having 40 points in a Big 12 game? And that's exactly how he puts it together. He will lower his shoulder and attack the rim.
TJ Otzelberger, year #4, and he talked with us this morning. How would this team respond after suffering their first loss in 54 days this past weekend at West Virginia? And he says, we talked about having fun again. A lot of pressure when you have that extended winning streak like Iowa State had, the nation's longest at 12 straight. The word fun popped up in that end of huddle conversation after the shoot around quite frequently.
Well, they had a ton of fun against Kansas. So
They certainly did.
You go on the road in this league, you're not going to win every game, but 1 for 17 from 3 usually doesn't get it done. The ball stuck too much. They didn't get to the free throw line, which you don't against West Virginia very often at their place.
Loose ball foul away from the action. Yeah, Iowa State scoring just the 57 points, by far and away the lowest offensive output of the year for Otzelberger and the Cyclones.
TJ Otzelberger likes to score on these out-of-bounds plays here, so keep your eye on Jones. He's the target. Gilbert coming around on the curl. There's a lot of bodies flying there, but that's a pretty high percentage look there.
Chatfield with the pulverizing screen, and then he's able to tip out the offensive board. Good job there by Chatfield, and that's what he does. Jefferson attacking the hoop. Chom had something to say about that. Iowa State to throw it in underneath.
Well, Chom, this is what he does for a living. This is why he's on scholarship. Look at the position. He goes straight up, takes the double pump, top 10 in the country in block percentage, so you have to go through his chest if you're going to attack the rim against number 52. What a bright future he has.
Highest ranked recruit ever for UCF, and now a moving screen on Iowa State's Chatfield. Each team squared away with a couple of fouls. Approaching that first media timeout, not quite 4 minutes in. Iowa State by 3. Want to get Hall a touch. He'll work on Jefferson.
He's got to attack. I mean, just get into the paint, go at it.
Trying to do that. Lobs it off to Chomp. Dangerous pass. Lipsy got a hand on it. Chased down, though, by Darius Johnson. 5 to shoot. Johnson with that motor ignited. Knocked away again by Lipsy as we hit the media timeout. Senegal native wore his parka throughout the entire shoot-around while he was out on the court. He kept it on pretty much until tip-off tonight.
It was a little chilly in here this morning. I think Ryan Workman, the SID for Iowa State, might have turned the air conditioning on.
Nice job there by Hall off the Ivy Curry miss. Keyshawn Hall with his first bucket, entering tonight, number 3 in the Big 12, 17 points per game. Gilbert gets Chom on a switch. He'll look to attack and somehow get it around Chom.
Well, that's one of those situations where Gilbert, just playing with a high basketball IQ, he dribbled the ball about 25 times, but he needed the space to attack the big man. That's one of those situations where you don't pass the ball when you have that type of mismatch. So here's Keyshawn out front. Look how much he dribbles. He just dribble. He's got the shot blocker. He makes the circus shot. That's pretty good defense, but number 10 makes a living getting into the paint.
Debo Coleman, the Georgia Tech transfer, to get 2 shots. Coleman, a real versatile player for UCF. Does everything really well. Spent 3 years in Atlanta, the flats at Georgia Tech. And it's been tough sledding right out of the gate for UCF this year. 7 games. You look at their opening stretch of their first 7 conference games. 6 will be against Quad 1 teams.
When you have to play Houston and Iowa State back-to-back, you know you've been dealt a tough hand by the league. 2 of the top defensive teams in the country, probably the top 2.
Ivy Curry with the turnover. Good job there by the veteran guard. See if UCF can take advantage. Hall into a double team. Locates Coleman in the near side corner. Coleman will look to attack. Nice wraparound bounce inside to Chom. Missed the bunny. Can't get the tip either. Gilbert with the pull-up J. Money.
A big turn of events right there. You got a point-blank shot. You have to finish on the road. And Hall and Thom not used to double teams like they're going to face against Iowa State. Nice drive down the lane. You mentioned Johnson earlier. He is a physical guard. This is just Keyshawn pulling up, hitting that 15-foot jumper. So many teams either want to take a 3 or attack the rim, but he's very comfortable in the mid-range.
Darius Johnson at the foul line. He's the veteran of this team, making his 41st consecutive start tonight. Honorable mention, all Big 12 performer from a year ago, and An era of college basketball where you see players move around a lot. That has not been the case with Johnson. He's been very loyal to this program. 4th year in Orlando, the 3-year starter.
I mean, obviously the portal and NIL have reshaped the game, but when you love your coach and the staff and the community and you're getting the minutes you want, you're taking a risk when you move somewhere else. The grass is obviously not always greener. It's nice to see him stick around. He leads the Big 12 in steals, and he's drilled 5 out of his last 13 threes.
Izzy, the UNI transfer, and this is a guy they want to get going off the bench for the Cyclones.
Well, that's what he's capable of doing. He doesn't have to die by that three-point shot. He's got to attack. They need better minutes out of him. He's too good of a player to be average.
A lot of contact away from the ball. That was Hall and Jefferson who were all tied up. And it looks like it's going to be an offensive foul on Keyshawn Hall, who can't believe it. Hall still having a conversation with the official as the physicality of this conference. And they are going to take it to the table to take another look. Keep an eye here with number 2 in white, Jefferson, number 4 for UCF in Hall. What do you think, Jess?
Well, they got the call on Hall. That's the call on the floor.
That is the call.
So I think they're just getting him with a common foul with the push-off.
After review, play stands.
Yeah, no real surprise there. Just like we both thought. See the officials giving both benches the explanation, and Keyshawn Hall still pleading his case.
So once he comes in, he pushes off there. That kills the play. Common foul, we play on. Life on the road in the Big 12, it's not easy.
Fourth team foul on UCF. Iowa State by 4. Underneath, Izzy probably should have went up with the shot. Instead, dished it off. Jefferson had a lot of arc to that shot. Left the foul line, jumped short.
You made the right call. Izzy's got to put that up.
Hall attacking the hoop, gets his second field goal. He has 4.
Keyshawn is so good at getting downhill. If he gets a straight line, you're usually going to lose that battle against him.
See these night guards really working hard trying to defend the ball. Not letting Jones get any space. Backdoor cut. There's Izzy caught behind the basket. Jefferson will look to challenge Chum. Help out from Coleman. Chum pawed at it, knocked it away. Shot clock to 1. This crowd urging Gilbert to let her fly. He does. And a solid box out by Hall.
Fantastic defense by Darius Johnson to stay home on Johns.
Iowa State with a run out. Heisey has a couple of trailers and he is banged into. Good foul there by Coleman to prevent the run out.
You have to protect the ball against Iowa State. He just loses it a little bit, and that was a good foul. I mean, that was a 3-on-1, and you live to fight another day. But Darius Johnson doing a nice job on Jones on that last possession. They're just going to stay with him, and they're going to let Iowa State play 4-on-4. He's instructed not to help off of Jones and not to dig down, and there's another play he just made.
Turnovers starting to mount now for both teams. Johnson all the way in, count it, and the foul. A chance for the three-point play. And that's what he has done throughout his entire career. Set it up on the defensive side of the floor and then convert to points.
What a brilliant sequence by Darius Johnson, number 3. Comes up with the turnover, gets inside, takes the hit, puts it up soft on the rim. Those are the type of plays that get you wins on the road in a hostile environment.
Left the free throw short, and we're tied at 15. Watson with that size barreling his way in, and he'll get the blocking foul underneath. It'll be on Benny Williams. Ian Watson into the game for the Cyclones. Here's a Heisey three. Still has yet to connect on one in Big 12 play. Coleman, despite not having the numbers, slices his way through. And another chance at the old-fashioned three.
Well, Heisey shot 36% from three last year at Northern Iowa. He's now 0 for his last 11. Those are shots with Momcilovic on the bench. He's got to knock those down. He's fully capable. UCF, the Knights, they are not afraid to push it in transition. This is a lethal offensive team at certain points. They've got their defense improved over the last few weeks, and they are so dangerous. We mentioned before, if you haven't seen them play, they had Houston on the ropes this weekend. Missed, what, 4 out of their last 5 free throws, I think, in the last couple minutes, or they would have had that victory.
And this is a team that already has a couple of quad one road victories in conference play. A win at Texas Tech, and then that shootout against Bobby Hurley and Arizona State on the road. Another Iowa State turnover. It's the 5th Cyclone turnover in this first half. UCF taking advantage. The Knights on a 7-0 run, and this crowd inside Hilton getting a little antsy. Williams into the lineup for the first time. He has the ball. He shoots it up. This one strong. Collision inside as Coleman plowed into Lipsy. And the loose ball foul on Debo Coleman, his second.
Yeah, it's a physical game. Both teams coming into the rim, going after it. Obvious foul. Right now, UCF couldn't ask for a better start on the road at Hilton.
3-point lead, UCF, as we hit 12 minutes.
Well, Curtis Jones, one of the best players in the country. The way to slow this Iowa State team down is to not let him get the ball. If you look on the right side of your screen, there he is. And they want to get this ball reversed through number 5, but they're not going to let him have it back. They're just straight up face guarding him. They're making a 4-against-4 game, and Iowa State's going to have to live with that. That's the type of strategy that Iowa State's dealing with over the last few weeks because Jones has been so on fire. Today at shoot-around, they must have said Jones's last name 100 times because they continue to remind their guys, when he gets the ball, you got to stay in a stance, and when he gives it up, don't let him give it back. Great plan by the Knights so far against one of the top guards in the country.
See what Jones has been able to do over the last 7 games. Over 20 points per night, 4 rebounds. His 3-point clip at 40%. He gets his first breather on the bench. Lipsy, Gilbert, Heisey, Jefferson, and Watson, the 5 out on the floor.
They want to get the ball inside of Jefferson. He's just getting grabbed right now every time he's down on the low block.
Watson hits the 3 ball from the corner. His first made 3 of the year. Tied at 18. Benny Williams, the Syracuse transfer, too strong off the window. Gilbert off that Watson screen, back-to-back 3 balls. Knocked free. Gilbert came piercing through with that backside help out defense.
Well, this is what TJ Otzelberger needed. He needs other guys to step up, and what a huge shot from Watson to get the crowd on their feet, and then Gilbert comes right back and capitalizes on that momentum. There's the ball screen. They're going to give him 50 of those a game, and he plays off of that. I was always afraid to play against a guy with a headband. I'll tell you what, they got a different level of confidence. He is so fun to watch.
Who's the best player you played against that wore a headband? We'll give you some time to think about that.
Talk about an answer, though.
Dior Johnson, the redshirt sophomore, Kingston, New York product. Tied at 21. Entertaining first half here from Ames.
Absolutely. Such an incredible league. Both teams feel like this is a must-win.
One and done for the Cyclones, and now Gilbert picks the pocket. Gilbert attacks the hoop with the finger roll. Into a double team, and Taylor has it swatted away. Boy, if you're going to take it up against these Cyclone big men, you got to go up stronger than that. Jefferson lofts it into the far baseline. Watson trying to muscle his way through, and a foul on the floor.
Well, Keyshawn Gilbert and Curtis Jones make the impossible look easy. Look at this circus shot. Swings it around, puts it in his left hand. Then you don't protect it. He's going to push it right back at. Look, that's just incredible.
Sean Hall with that last foul. That's going to be his second, so he's going to have to play smart. Watson at the foul line to shoot the 1-and-1. A man that provided some minutes off the bench a year ago. He did not see a lot of playing time through the first quarter of the season, but with the Momcilovic injury, Watson now seeing some time off the bench. See Gilbert's numbers this year. Continues to be one of the best attackers of the basket in the country.
You mentioned before the game, you thought Watson needed to give them some valuable minutes. Talking about coming in and hitting a three-pointer and then drilling 2 free throws. He's going to get a standing ovation from this Cyclone crowd. They know what he can provide.
Knowing your role, making the most of the opportunity when presented, and that's what Watson has done in this first half. Iowa State by 4. Sham, who can hit that long three, misfires. Here goes Gilbert. Contact in that lane and a jump ball, and the arrow favors UCF.
When you force shots at one end, you usually pay the price at the other. They call the jump ball, but Tom's got to be smarter at the offensive end. He can hit that three-point shot, but in that situation right there with the crowd on their feet, he wants to reverse that, get it side to side, and let his guys get downhill.
Token pressure by Iowa State, handled easily. This is Ivy Curry. 3 players averaging 14 points per night for this night offense. Sham, who's been quiet, that's a tough shot. Sky hook along the baseline. Johnson blows a gasket as he was trailing on D. That opens up the odd man rush, and Jones makes them pay. And a timeout by UCF.
Well, this is the top trio in the country as far as backcourt goes. When Gilbert and Jones are feeling it, nobody can stop them. Making the extra pass, TJ Otzelberger thought the ball stuck a little too much at West Virginia. Too much dribbling, too much carelessness. Hey, that's not the case tonight. I see you, buddy. You're a superstar. Gilbert has been fantastic in this game. I'll tell you what, when you take bad shots like UCF has the last 2 possessions, Iowa State will run it down your throat. They will make the extra pass, and they will make you pay. You've got to play with discipline on the road.
Last 3 games, Jones has been spectacular. He's been fantastic all season, but when the lights are the brightest, the huge game against Kansas, the road win at Texas Tech, and even on a tough night offensively for the Cyclones, he found a way to score 16 in Morgantown.
You know, at 6'4" guards in college basketball are a dime a dozen. Let's be real about that. Why are these 2 who are so under-recruited, and even in the portal, nobody wanted them? I mean, why are they so good? How does TJ get those 2 to become elite defenders and play so hard and effective offensively? That's just straight out coaching. I mean, that's just making guys better. They both buy in, but the drill work, the training, the execution. You see so many guys who are built like them who get you 1 rebound a game, 5 turnovers, and jack 10 shots. Those guys play at a high level together. It's fantastic to see it.
Johnson open, 3-ball up, crawls out on him, and strong rebound by Jackson, but then Taylor took it away from him, and he'll score. Tremendous effort by J.J. Taylor.
It was a great shot by Johnson. He just rimmed it out, and then Taylor cleaned up the mess. And that gets the crowd silenced. What a gutsy play as he's falling to the ground.
That snaps a 7-0 Iowa State run and what has been a half of runs here tonight from Ames. Taylor running the floor, hands it off to Ivy Curry. He wants to reset the attack. 8:14 to go, first half. Cyclones by 5. Off balance fadeaway for Johnson. Cyclones want to push. Jones with that quick first step, stripped as he went up.
Well, the Knights' best offense is when they get it side to side, post up, they're going to face that double, and they kick it out, get pretty good looks out of it.
Bingo for 3, Darius Johnson. Coming into tonight, one of the top 3-point shooters in the conference at 42%.
He is such an impressive offensive guard. Makes everybody around him better. Defends as well as anybody. And he knew that previous 3-point shot rimmed out. When he got another chance, he wanted to redeem himself.
Two bigs working together, and they will draw the foul on Benny Williams, his second.
Got a physical game. Everybody crashing the boards. These are the type of plays right here. Taylor makes it, rips it through, falls down, kisses it off the glass.
From California. Keyshawn Hall with those 2 fouls on the bench right now. Hall with 6 points. He and Johnson pacing the UCF attack. Jackson with the free throw. Now you look at the game trends. Iowa State 55% from the floor. UCF right now at 43%. Cyclones winning the rebounding battle 16-6.
Well, the Knights have turned it into a little bit of a rock fight on some of these possessions, and that's how you have to win on the road. They talked about physicality at their shoot-around several times. This is a team that's already beaten Texas A&M. They won at Texas Tech. They lost by 1 to Houston, so a team flying under the radar. Not a lot of fans know about them, but they are talented, physical, but you can't turn the ball over against Iowa State, or you usually pay at the other end for that.
Jefferson with that pivot foot as he swiveled in, and shot might have been blocked by Yaksus. Rokas Yaksus, the big Lithuanian, into the game for the first time. Taylor unable to finish near the rim.
I like the decision by Taylor. He couldn't finish, but you don't want Iowa State's defense to set up. If you have even low percentage opportunities on the fast break, you want to take them against the Cyclones.
Long range 3 is good. The range limitless for Curtis Jones, and here comes Hilton. Set up that double screen for Ivy Curry. Nice leave, and Chom missed it. Yaksus can't finish the tip. Chom will try, no, and here come the Cyclones. It's a 3-on-1, Lipsy all the way, and a goaltending on Chom, and the Cyclones on a 9-0 run.
Well, Johnny Dawkins draws up an NBA double drag play, gets the ball to Thom with a point-blank shot. He misses it. And then you give the run out, and here comes Lipsy right at you. He's got to continue to do that. He needs to play with more confidence. He needs to smile a little bit more. I know he's beat up. They need to get better minutes out of number 3, as good as he's been all season.
Johnson tried to get that step back 3 off. Lipsy closed the spacing. Now Ivy Curry cranks it up, and he connects.
Dude, we have some shot makers in this game. That's good defense, but that's elite crossover offense.
It's a much-needed basket from the transfer from Pacific and UTSA, Jordan Ivy Curry. Gilbert, almost like a knuckleball coming off his call.
So Iowa State's running this little weave action at the top to try to get the switches they want, and when they see a mismatch, they attack. Now, that wasn't a mismatch. That was just Gilbert being great. Oh, where's Jones? That's too open.
That's where he is. He'll let it fly. Watson tried to bring it home, and he draws the foul. What a first half off the bench for Demarion Watson, and this crowd loving it.
He's just coming to the rim, attacking. A ferocious play and huge minutes out of number 4. This crowd really appreciates the effort. Big free throws right here with 5:14 to go here in the first half.
Watson logged 9 minutes in the win against Kansas. Really made an impact on the glass, just a point, but he grabbed 5 rebounds, was really quiet Saturday in Morgantown. 6 minutes, no stats register, but completely different story here in this first half.
Well, this is a big possession here for the Knights. They need to move the ball side to side, let everybody touch it, believe in their actions, and try to get this Iowa State defense collapsing, and you can skip it to the other side.
Ivy Curry ambushed by that double team. Mikey Williams able to save it inside, and the shot was blocked. Watson was able to recover, able to swat it out of there from Yaksus, and now a teardrop won't go for Jones, but Watson working underneath. The effort and the energy from number 4.
Well, the big men for the Knights are playing too soft. I mean, you have to pump fake and power. There are going to be hands all over you when you're playing against Iowa State. This is one of the top 2 defenses in the country, and that's 3 or 4 times in this half where they missed close at the rim. You've got to finish those.
Jefferson to get 2 free throws, 2 quick fouls on Yaksus. Yes, you look at the run here for Iowa State. What's been the key for the Cyclones to open up a little cushion late?
Well, you give credit to their defense, which has allowed them to get out and run. But I think if you're Coach Dawkins and you watch the tape, you're saying, look, we played into that defense. We didn't take care of the basketball. We missed a couple layups. We didn't run our offense. So shot selection and finishing right now starting to mount up for the Knights. But nobody makes you pay for foolish decisions more than Iowa State, especially here at home.
Jefferson's been quite a find from St. Mary's, entering tonight, double-double rebounds. Last couple of games, 12 against Kansas, 10 against West Virginia. Able to get the 2 free throws and attacking the hoop. There's some of the strength that you wanted to see from these big men near the basket. That was J.J. Taylor.
That was a great possession. When they get the ball side to side, there are lanes that open up, and these guys are so good at isolation basketball and getting downhill. That's just a brilliant offensive move and great hustle plays by Taylor in this first half.
Taylor played well against Arizona State. Mustafa Cham did not suit that night. He was out with an illness, so J.J. Taylor logged a season-high 27 minutes, played well against the Sun Devils.
Well, let's see if he can make this free throw. If they set up that full court pressure, try to trap that first pass. They caused a turnover earlier in this half when they did it. They're just going to drop back.
First-year transfer from Memphis completes the 3-point play, and the Knights hanging around, trailing by 7. 4:20 to go in this opening half. Iowa State ranked 3rd in the country, one of 4 ranked teams this week in the Big 12. Jefferson open, pops it up and through.
Well, we said earlier in the game, Josh Jefferson has to take that 3. And if he makes that 3, then they're Final Four good. And they are letting him take it, and he's got to make defenses pay. He's got nice form. He just needs to have more confidence with it.
Quick hands by Iowa State. Gilbert the takeaway. It's a 3-on-2. Gilbert all the way to the rack. No, but the tip by Heisey. Timeout, Johnny Dawkins and UCF. Iowa State opening up their largest lead here inside Hilton.
Hard to score in the paint against Iowa State. They got 4 guys loading it, and you keep your eye on Gilbert. He just rakes the ball out. That ball has to be skipped to the corner for a 3-point shot, and then he goes up, attacks the rim. Great putback. Keyshawn Gilbert, it's almost like there's 2 of him on the floor tonight.
16-6 Iowa State run. Gilbert already in double figures, pacing the Cyclone offense. One of 7 players to score here in this first half. 11 for Gilbert. 5 of 8 from the floor, plus the ability to dish the ball off that initial attack. I think an area that has improved dramatically for him from a season ago. I mean, he was good in that area last year, but finding the open teammate off his explosive first and second steps. See how Johnny Dawkins and the Knights respond after that timeout. Ivy Curry with a tough shot. Chom gobbles up that rebound. Stripped away, though. Jefferson that time got his hands in.
You know what his friend Frischilla all these years taught us about playing against Houston, against Iowa State. You've got to skip the basketball. They're going to bait you into thinking you can attack that initial line. You cannot. You have to drive it and kick it and get that defense swinging, and then you have opportunities. And right now, the Knights, when they do get the ball deep in the paint, they're getting it stripped every single possession.
5 to shoot. They work that double screen. Jones missed it to the left. Good defensive sequence there by the Knights, and here comes Hall into the front court. Talented scorer, kicks it off into the corner to Coleman. Coleman tiptoes his way into that double team. That's where Iowa State wants him to go. And the Cyclones create the tie-up possession arrow favoring the Cyclones.
There's one place on the floor you don't want to dribble. It's baseline into the double. And again, they got to move the ball side to side. Right now, the Cyclone defense swarming, controlling the tempo of this game, and there's just nowhere to go. They've got to figure that out quickly. They don't have enough time to adjust at halftime, or this thing's going to get out of hand.
Iowa State 5 of 10 from downtown. They're going to attack inside. Catching it real deep was Jackson. Boy, Deshaun Jackson caught that way too deep. If you're Chum, you got to put up a little bit more resistance there.
Just the weight room move going against an elite shot blocker, and the physicality won out on that play right there.
First foul on Chum. Jackson back at the foul line. That's what was so uncharacteristic about the loss for Iowa State on Saturday. This is one of the top teams in the country as far as free throw attempts go, and they only got to the foul line 7 times in Morgantown. Back to a more normal look here in the first half. Jackson able to convert both. Iowa State now 9 of 11 from the free throw line. 18-6 run. The Cyclones with that 14-point lead. And a loose ball foul, and it's going to be on Johnson.
His second.
This UCF program has certainly had the connection to Senegal, and Johnny Dawkins made the move this year, promoting Mamadou Ndiaye up to an associate coach, and he has brought that Senegal pipeline, in particular Mustafa Cham, to Orlando.
Well, the game's obviously global now, and a lot of that goes back to the Dream Team, the original Dream Team. Chris Mullen and Michael Jordan and Barkley and Ewing, and just so many different players coming and going, and the portals made it easier to get kids to come, and now NIL, so it's just nice to see these guys getting an opportunity to play college basketball. He was coaching his tail off this afternoon at shoot-around, just trying to get his guys to know how physical this game is going to be, and right now they have not matched the physicality of Iowa State over the last 5 to 6 minutes.
Taco Fall, if you recall, was a really first big guy from Senegal. He was part of that NCAA tournament team. 3-ball by Jefferson, and Iowa State has all cylinders clicking right now. An 18-point lead late in this first half. Johnson, the Knights need it. Too strong. Rebound inside. Coleman. And a late whistle and a foul. Devo Coleman to get 2 free throws.
Well, Jefferson 7 double-doubles on the season and just fits in with this program perfectly. And these are the shots, we've said it 3 or 4 times, that he has to take. It doesn't matter if he misses them. That's what the defense is giving. He's got nice form, great rotation. Wouldn't have a problem with him taking 4 or 5 a game sometimes, and who cares if he goes 1 for 5 or 1 for 6 once in a while. Other guys misses as well, but if they're going to win those big Sweet 16, Elite 8 type of games, go to the Final Four, I think that's a major factor. You can't stay with the 3 guards, so you're going to have to help off of Jefferson. He's got to make him pay.
Changes both ways. Jackson will take a seat on the bench, picking up his 2nd foul. Cham heads to the sideline for UCF, their big man. Devo Coleman has played well in this first half. 1 of 2 at the line. Coleman with 6 points. First-year transfer from Georgia Tech. Gilbert off that high screen. Peels it into the paint. High arcing shot straight through.
Those two guards are just so good at snaking those ball screens. One-handed floaters, flippers, whatever you want to call them. And that's a nice answer.
Ivy Curry gets the 3.
He's capable of scoring in bunches. He's got the crossovers. He's got to get more shots up in the second half.
Had a 22-point game earlier this year against Colorado. Lipsy through a tiny crevice. Ivy Curry, eyes up, pushes it up to Taylor. Taylor drives in on Watson, slowed down by that help out D from Gilbert. Now Coleman cranks up a long 3, can't get the bounce. And the Cyclones the opportunity for the final shot of this first half.
Well, there's a little glimpse of what they have to do in the second half. Taylor drove the basketball, jump stopped in the paint, kicked it out. Coleman hesitated. There was no need to pump fake on that, but that's what they have to do. 14 seconds to go here.
Gilbert will get a double screen. Let's see what side he picks. He goes left. He shoots it up. No. Jefferson the rebound. Bounces it to Watson at the buzzer. And an exclamation point will put play the lopsided win against Baylor, and high praise from Scott Drew after that game. And the win against Kansas here at Hilton Coliseum. See if the Knights can get off to a quick start. And that is Hall doing what he does best and attacking the basket, drawing the early foul 10 seconds in. Second foul on Gilbert. Same starting 5 both ways. Coleman, Hall, Johnson, Ivy, Curry, and Chom, the 5 out on the floor. And John Hall did everything but finish. Used his strength, got to that basket, just could not bring it home.
Those are challenge shots, but shots you have to make on the road to give your team an opportunity to win. That's 5 or 6 missed layups for the Knights.
State looking for that high-low action initially with Jefferson and Jackson. Here's Jones, step back 3, off the mark, no. Fight for the rebound, tipped out to Chum.
Well, they're going to come back to Jones the next couple times on that high ball screen. Hall went under the screen, and that usually doesn't work, but that does.
Thunder from Chum as he throws it down. Give Ivy Curry the assist.
Well, he wasn't going to miss that one.
Freshman Senegal moved to the United States just 3 years ago. A late bloomer, did not start playing basketball until he was 13. Jefferson in the crowd, and he is bailed out by the whistle, and Jefferson to get a couple of free throws.
You don't see too many big men this tall who can catch like this and throw down. That is a highlight of his year. What a fantastic two-fister coming right into your living room.
It's a young man who reclassified to enroll early at UCF. A player that just continues to get better and better. He has hit double digits in 6 of his last 9 games. Talked to Johnny Dawkins about him earlier this morning, and just talked about experience. It's getting that experience at this level, and you can see it building for this young man, really all clicking. He has the natural skill set. They're going to get him in the weight room, and he'll improve in that area as well.
Just the perfect spot for him. Coach Dawkins so good at developing players, especially big men. And 52 is just going to continue to get better, but he's got to have a monster second half. There he is.
3 ball by Hall, and he buries it. Sean Hall transferred in, one of 11 newcomers this year for UCF, transferred in from George Mason.
He had 4 out of 6 from 3 against Arizona State.
Foul on the Knights. We go back to the other end, and Keyshawn Hall.
Just a nice little rub screen here. This is designed to get him going from the perimeter. If you can't get it inside, just let that fly. And he was 5 out of 21 from 3 coming into the Arizona State game, and then he got hot, hit 4 out of 6 like we mentioned, and then was 0 for 3 against Houston. But you can see the form there. A pure shooter. They've got to get more consistency out of him. He's 32% from 3 on the year. If he can get that into the upper 30s, that just makes it so much more difficult to guard him because he is as good as it gets at attacking the rim.
Another double-figure performance for Jones. 11 points tonight. That's 21 straight now. Big 12 conference games that Jones has hit double figures. That's the longest streak by any player in the Big 12, and you have to go back 5 years. So quite a run for Curtis Jones, now into that starting role with the injury to Momcilovic, who actually underwent successful hand surgery earlier today. He is not here at Hilton Coliseum. He is at home recovering, but everything went well from what we've been told. One of the more prolific three-point shooters in the conference. Coleman from the baseline launches and hits.
Isn't it amazing when you get that skip pass, that extra pass, you get a good look at the rim, how much higher the percentages are for your team. And great plan by the Knights, coming out, sharing the basketball, attacking, and then taking shots when they're open.
Well, Coleman with 9 to lead UCF. Gilbert with the alley-oop and the flush from Jefferson. Hall hands it, Ivy Curry shoots it and drains it.
Just much better ball movement in this second half by UCF.
The Knights need some stops now. Gilbert attacking the basket, gets 2.
You see, the Knights are in drop coverage, which means they're leaving their big in the paint, trying to force that 15-foot jumper, but the guards for Iowa State are so crafty, they're still getting to the rim, even in drop coverage.
2 in a row for Ivy Curry. And the sniper out of the Lone Star State. Back-to-back 3 balls, and UCF has it within 11. 4 straight long balls for the Knights. Strong start early stages in this second half.
Fantastic adjustments at halftime by Johnny Dawkins and his staff, telling his guys, we're not going to shoot ourselves back into this. We've got to make the extra pass. Look at the ball movement off the ricochet. The defense collapses. That's what Iowa State does. So the weakness is on the other side. And instead of trying to just conquer the defense, a little dribble handoff, Ivy Curry, that's what he does. You have to like the three-point shot, but love the paint. Get it into the paint first and then kick it out. So great job to climb back in, and TJ Otzelberger not very happy with his defense to start the second half.
UCF trying to shoot their way back into this game. 4 of 4 now from beyond the arc to start this second half. 5 of 6 from the floor here in the first 3+ minutes. Johnny Dawkins, back in his day, he knew how to put the ball through the hoop. Number 2 all-time scorer at Duke. Had that top spot until J.J. Redick passed him, and then talked about his long NBA career.
I asked him today a question that I knew before I asked him what his answer was going to be, and I said, what's your favorite part about coaching? What gets you up in the morning to stay in this game? And he said what I thought he would say. I love pouring my life into the guys. I want to disciple these kids, mentor these kids, give them a better life than what they had. And that's just how he's built.
And he said that with that famous soft-spoken smile that only Johnny Dawkins can provide.
Right now.
Yeah, right. I think we're going to say the same thing. They need to figure out a way to get stops.
Absolutely. Right now they're having a hard time with these ball screens, and Iowa State getting the switches they want. Pretty easy shots at the basket. Might have to start hedging a little bit more. This drop action's not quite stout enough around the rim.
Jefferson, a 78% free throw shooter this year. 16 for Josh Jefferson. Comes from a football family. His father Ben played in the NFL. A couple of brothers, Noah and Cameron, played college football. He has that football mentality underneath. Strong, physical player for the Cyclones.
I don't know how TJ found this guy. He fits in perfectly. I mean, if he's hitting this three-point shot, it's big trouble. Here he comes again, right on cue.
Showtime, and he decided to finger roll it at the last second. His crowd thought thunder was going to be happening, but it looked like he lost the grip at the last second.
He is so versatile. He's guarding Hall out on the perimeter.
Back-to-back turnovers. Here comes Iowa State. Gilbert, no look inside. Job defensively there. Jones resets. Reignited that engine and left the shot short. Now the Knights want to run. Back and forth we go. Good job by Iowa State with their transition D. Ivy Curry, he's had the hot stroke. And 3 possessions, 3 straight turnovers as we hit the media timeout.
And Josh Jefferson is guarding point guards on the perimeter. Are you kidding me? And small forwards, picking pockets, coming right at you. This guy, man, he looks good in that uniform. I mean, guarding point guards, jumping passing lanes, knocking in the three-point shot. That is such a nice sight to see. Hanging above rims, and look at the footwork. Comes up with a loose ball, gets up in there, puts it in. 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, sending a message to the rest of the league that the championship still goes through Ames.
Jefferson tying a season high, scored 19 earlier this year in Iowa City against the Hawks. Closing in on a career high number. We talked about his time at St. Mary's. Scored 21, that's his career mark for the Gales a couple of years ago. Iowa State after the timeout, back up 15, and Lipsy taking it to the basket. But a foul away from the action, maybe a moving screen on Jefferson there. Foul is called on Chatfield, that's his 3rd, so haven't seen a lot of Brant Chatfield tonight because of the fouls. He picked up 2 early ones, and now he heads to the bench sitting with his 3rd foul. Jackson back in there for the Cyclones. Here's Johnson elevating from the corner.
The reason that was successful is because Ivy Curry did not try to conquer Iowa State's defense on the first hit. Moved the ball, got it to the open shooter, and they're having some success at that.
Johnson was actually on the pit roster when the Cyclones played the Panthers in the NCAA tournament. Seeing more time off the bench of late. Oh, what a move by Jefferson. Spinning to his left. And now a takeaway from Lipsy. Jackson gives it to Gilbert to the corner. Lipsy, goal! Can't finish on the Ivy Curry miss. UCF, Jess, is going to look back at this game and those point-blank misses really from the opening whistle tonight.
Absolutely. You cannot miss the close ones on the road in this league.
Lipsy looking for 2 in a row. This one well short. Jefferson saves it right into the arms of Coleman. Debo Coleman does not have the numbers. He'll peel into the paint with the right hand. Too strong. Hall tips it out. Chom for 3. Gone. And the big man showing his range.
Great job by Keyshawn to kick that out. And when you can get that offensive rebound kick out for the 3, that is a wonderful shot. Big number 52. That doesn't seem fair, does it, when he's raining down 3s?
Chom gets caught in that switch up. That freed up Jackson inside. Fight for the rebound, and Jefferson, Johnny on the spot tonight. Career high for Jefferson with 23. Backdoor cut. Dior Johnson makes the tough catch. Lipsy recovers with the block. Chom with that mid-range shot.
He is not shy. He gets a look. He's putting it up. Tell you what, as well as Iowa State has played in this game, the Knights hanging around.
Now UCF for the first time with the trap. Iowa State handles it nicely, and the little bunny for Jones. You like offense, you pick the right location tonight. Iowa State already was 74. High scoring battle with the Knights. Johnson feeling it, he was calling for that ball. Chom becoming more active, second chance opportunity. Ivy Curry all by his lonesome, he won't miss those. Both of these teams in this second half shooting lights out. Gilbert on the other end. Curry lost it. Mitzi the takeaway. He's in the clear. 2 more. Wholesale changes and a timeout in a wild one.
Well, everybody's exhausted, but not Joshua Jefferson. A career night puts him in the spin cycle, and this is one they're going to show at the banquet. Everybody touched it. Lipsy drilling it, pulling away if you're a Cyclone. But I think Cyclone fans, from this game's perspective, feel like they can beat anybody in the country, and they're not going to go 1 for 17 from 3 very often like they did against West Virginia. Here they come again.
Another takeaway. It's Heisey feeding Gilbert. And the turnover starting to mount for the Knights. That's 14 now. Iowa State 9 points off those turnovers alone here in the second half. Watson picks up the foul, his second. This has been an offensive clinic here in the opening 8+ minutes. Iowa State 9 of 13 from the floor. UCF shooting 60% here in the second half. All fouled as he began his descent toward the basket. 2 quick ones on Watson. Now has 3.
TJ Otzelberger's program has always been built on defense, but 11:30 to go. He's got 80 points, 11th rated offense in Ken Palm, 6th rated defense. So that's the formula for winning championships in the regular season and postseason.
Hand check, trying to slow down Jones. Johnson with the foul, the 4th on the Knights. Jefferson, who's had a big night, ready to check back in for Iowa State. Will replace Watson.
Well, you give the Iowa State staff a ton of credit for not overworking their guys after the road trip and the disappointing loss. A lot of times you want to overreact when you lose games, but you have to have fresh legs, especially in this league, and their guys are just flying up and down the court here at Hilton. You don't want to have that 2.5-hour practice and wear your guys down and overcoach. You just want to reset it. You know you'll play better, and they've definitely responded.
Iowa State bracing to work a length of time without one of the top scorers in the conference in Momcilovic. And Jess, when you look at this offense, how do they make up for his absence? See the loose ball foul underneath.
Well, just guys like Watson, right, coming in and eating up those minutes with valuable play, and it's going to be by committee. You're typically not going to get Joshua Jefferson to give you 30 like he's on his way to tonight, but just every guy's got to step up, and that backcourt that they have is lethal. I mean, Jones can get you an extra 10 points every other night. Gilbert's been amazing in this game.
Watson sitting on the bench, 7 points. And we talked about it, different players stepping up, knowing their roles with Momcilovic out. Watson has been that guy tonight. Jefferson gets the roll, and Iowa State comfortable 21-point lead, not even halfway through the second half. Heisey commits the foul all the way out near the stripe. Spins his way in, and you see why Johnny Dawkins, Orlando, is excited about this young player.
I mean, that's great defense. I mean, he splits that double team. That was a well-earned basket, but not many guys can slither through like that and still keep your balance and power to go up.
Heisey, open 3. Just cannot find that long-range shot in conference play. 0 for 12 from beyond the arc in the conference games, as you see him go up high and get the shot blocked as Mikey Williams attacked the hoop. Excellent recovery there by Heisey. Shot clock at 15. Denny Williams telegraphed that pass, and UCF fortunate to still have it. Look at Keyshawn Hall, number 4, handling the basketball. This is a man that started his career at UNLV as Mikey Williams hits the jump shot. He was 295 pounds coming out of high school his first year at UNLV. He lost 60 pounds over 4 to 5 months, and you see the strength he has playing at that 230 to 235 range.
Yeah, that's what being on a team and being involved in sports can do for a person, right? It just gives you goals and purpose, and you know other guys are relying upon you. For him to commit to the game like that, nutrition is just a real testament to his character.
A rugged sequence for Iowa State. That's exactly how Chatfield likes it. He missed the left-handed shot. Cleared out of there by J.J. Taylor. He then collided with Johnson. Mikey Williams, will pick and roll with Benny Williams, who hovers, and Jefferson looked like he altered it.
Yeah, for a team that doesn't have a 7'1" shot blocker just cleaning up around the rim, these guys play such fundamental defense, and the coaches put them in great position, but one-on-one, they usually win that battle.
Gilbert with that Euro step, eyes in the back of his head, just trailing and leading Chatfield peeling to the basket. Another helper for Gilbert, another steal for Jefferson. He looks for liftoff, and he has it. Crowd on their feet. They can take over a game, can't they, when they get dialed in? You just sit back and listen and enjoy the experience. It's like the crowd back in Orlando. Gilbert with 7 on the shot clock.
See, Heisey's got to take that shot. You've got to take this shot, Heisey.
Fires it up, and that one had to feel like $1 million for the former Panther from Northern Iowa.
Well, Joshua Jefferson, as good as it gets. What a spectacular performance. The best I've ever seen him play. And Heisey, look, live in the gym, let it fly. You're a Cyclone. These people believe in you. You got one. Standards. He came out of this game and wanted to redeem himself. No fear whatsoever. Attacking the 7-footer, just going right at the rim. The circus shots, the assists, 19 points on only 13 shots. Pump faking power right through big number 52. He has been sensational. This is a guy that flies under the radar. Most valuable player of their championship conference tournament last year. And number 10 is locked in. He's focused. 3 steals. He's been absolutely sensational. When you hang 88 points on UCF with 7:47 to go, there's a lot of guys to talk about, but he came out hungry in this one.
7 assists as well, as you saw in that last graphic for Gilbert. Iowa State up by 24. Ivy Curry has had himself a night, and that will continue. This should count, and a chance for the 3-point play. Jordan Ivy Curry grew up around the Houston area, had an outstanding high school career. In fact, he was a finalist for the prestigious Guy Lewis Award, which is given to the top player in the massive Houston Metro. Had a couple of stints with UTSA. That's where he started his career, spent a season at Pacific, then went back to San Antonio, and then hit the portal and really built an immediate connection with Johnny Dawkins, and he has played well this year.
Oh, he's really fun to watch. He's got all the moves offensively, and if he can become a little more consistent with his 3-point shot, then he can get this team into the tournament. But he's lightning in a bottle, just plays laterally so quick. He stays in a stance and makes things happen offensively.
No-look pass. Heisey has it blocked, though, by Chum. What a recovery. 3 ball from Gilbert as he rushed it up to beat the clock. Chum, one of the top shot blockers in the country. Now Hall fakes the 3, blows right by Jefferson, hovers and hits. Hall Hall with 13 tonight. One of 2 nights in double figures. Ivy Curry still pacing this offense with 19. Jones from that foul line. That's money.
So the drop coverage by the Knights has just not been effective against this All-American trio of Iowa State. They are able to hit that mid-range jumper or floater, and it just makes it impossible to slow them down.
Hall using his quickness on Jackson. Can't find an opening. Now Mikey Williams. High rainbow shot won't go. Ball tipped out. Here's a long 3 and splash from Jordan Ivy Curry.
He's sensational.
Curry up above 20 points for the 4th time this year, matching a season high of 22. Shot that one from Disney World back in Orlando. Long 3. Battle for the rebound, 1 and done for Iowa State. Now here come the Knights. Ivy Curry leans in on Gilbert, shoots over Jefferson. This one won't go for him. Now Heisey on the lead pass on a run out, and he throws it down. Williams attacking the basket, and he gets it to go. Excellent body control for Mikey Williams, who is getting healthier by the day. Missed the first 10 games this year with a foot injury, but seeing more minutes off the bench.
Yeah, we keep talking about drop coverage that UCF is playing. So look at the big man, number 52. He's going to drop into the paint. Now he's going to force Curtis to take that mid-range runner. That's a low percentage shot for most guards, but Gilbert and Jones and Taman this entire night have hit that mid-range jumper, which makes that drop coverage ineffective. It's just a chess game these two guys are playing, and the guards for Iowa State have taken advantage.
Inside 5 minutes to go, the home stretch. Now a kick out high. Now you look at this game, both teams shooting the ball lights out. Iowa State 56% from the floor. The Knights are at 47%. UCF 11 of 21 from downtown.
Well, Coach Dawkins would have taken that any day of the week, right? You're on the road against the number 3 team in the country. They have an elite defense. You're shooting the ball well. This is a complicated film session for the Knights over the last couple days, right? A lot of positives to take out of this game. They matched the physicality early. Defense has been pretty good. I think they're going to look back, like you mentioned, at all of those missed dunks and layups around the rim that they kind of lost their confidence from that. But you know, life is a basketball coach, a very difficult sport to coach because a lot of times the game plan works, but your guys don't finish.
See what they have coming up, TCU, and then the trip to Lawrence. They get BYU on the home hardwood, Cincinnati, and then the trip to Waco for Johnny Dawkins, trying to guide this team back into the NCAA tourney. Program with 5 tournament appearances in its history. The last time was 2019. They earned an at-large that year, and I know you recall they were the 9 seed.
Yep.
They won their first round game, beating VCU, and then they nearly had the upset against the top-seeded Blue Devils.
Something odd happened at the end of the game. I can't remember what it was, but they was right there for the taking.
Couple of NIT appearances over the last couple of years, but talked about it. 11 new additions. 3 quad 1 wins already this year, 2 of those on the road in the Big 12, and they are building a resume to get back into that NCAA tournament. Knights picking up the pressure in the backcourt. Jefferson is ambushed at that timeline, and last touch by UCF. Iowa State to trigger in with 4:31 to play. Gilbert just so good with his body, feeling the contact and muscling through.
It's the way he can hang, turn his body in the air, put it on the rim. It's been a remarkable performance. It's been textbook of how to attack a big man at the rim.
Mikey Williams to get 2 free throws. Jefferson and Gilbert now, the combination 47 of Iowa State's 94 points. Chatfield picking up that last foul, his 4th.
The line of the Knights, Mikey Williams.
Free throw by Williams is good. Talked about Mikey Williams coming from the West Coast out of San Diego. 4-star player. Started his career at Memphis. Did not play a game for the Tigers. Had some issues off the court. But a fresh start in Orlando, and a young man, when healthy, can really contribute to the depth of this team. Jones with a full head of steam. Izzy has played well tonight. Jefferson trying to hit that backdoor cut pass a bit behind Watson.
Yeah, why not take the 3, Jefferson, right? I mean, this is what we're talking about. You can't play the numbers. You have to take the shot that the defense gives you, and that's his first mistake of the night.
Timeout in the action. When we come back, we'll talk a little Taman Lipsey, what makes him so special.
Sports Center, watch Taman Lipsey, and you will learn how to become an elite point guard who everybody wants to play with. And there's a guy that's got a strong chance of leading his team to a national championship. He knows how to play the game. Everybody in the country wants him. We salute you, Taman Lipsey. You've been a joy to watch, especially the last couple weeks studying tape.
Moved into the number 3 spot all time tonight at Iowa State in career steals. Passing Justice Thigpen. Iowa State improved to 6-1 in Big 12 action. UCF to 3-4. As you see the contact underneath and the goaltending, basket will count.
That's the nastiest double drag sequence I've ever seen out of that set. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to steal that one from my 8th grade girls team that I'm coaching. Set up the double drag, slip Jones back door. These Cyclones right now, they're going to break 100 in this game, and it's just ridiculous when you look at the defense they play. TJ Otzelberger, he's got it rolling. He's going with the medium shirt tonight, too, right? He's been wearing the large lately. He went with the medium. He just wasn't feeling right about how they're playing, so he changed it up.
Well, he's heading to the desert, so he might even go small this weekend as you head to Arizona State and Arizona. Arizona swing, and then they get back here at Hilton Coliseum with Kansas State. Great pass, and Watson knew what to do with it. The big finish for Watson. Ivy Curry working hard on Heisey, just running out of real estate, but he was getting ushered that way. Too much contact from Heisey. Double bonus for UCF the rest of the way. You look at Johnny Dawkins, and currently one of 2 Big 12 coaches with NBA experience. Bobby Hurley, the other, the head coach at Arizona State. He's the only active head coach in college basketball that's a member of the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. Talked about his efforts as a player. Danny Manning, part of that group. He's an assistant at Colorado this year. Season high for Ivy Curry with 24. Iowa State hit the century mark earlier this year against Jackson State. Jefferson tried to put them at that plateau. Hustle inside and a second chance opportunity.
So it's a great shot by Jefferson. It's what he has to take. But TJ's telling him right there, hey, if you're going to shoot that, you've got to crash the boards. It's not your responsibility to sprint back. I want you in the paint.
Jones spins in on Williams. Ivy Curry tried to slide in back door, but Jones felt him coming, and the Cyclones have hit the century mark.
Is there, some sort of prize over at Hickory Park tonight? I mean, you get 100 points, you get like a free ice cream cone? Maybe the announcers at least.
14,000 would love the thought of that.
Roll in there for some pulled pork. It's where I always eat when I'm in town, but you know, this is a new brand of Iowa State basketball under TJ Otzelberger. 100 points against the Knights with 2 minutes to go. Wow, what a clinic.
Entered the night, the top scoring team in the Big 12. Long three by Jones. Jefferson continuing to work, fouled by Chum. You look at the triple digits put up by Iowa State. It's the first time the Cyclones have done that in a Big 12 game since their wild 4 overtime loss to Missouri all the way back in 2001. See the night for Ivy Curry, 6 of 9 from beyond the arc, season high 24 points. Just not enough, as they could not keep up with this Iowa State offensive attack. Chum and Ivy Curry to the bench.
He's been outstanding in this game. You love the guards who make people around them better, and he can create his own shot. So he's got to be very proud of his effort. And you can't hang your head. You just have to keep attacking. Good game by Taylor as well. But Ivy Curry was the star for the Knights in this one. And not many people put up 24, 25 points against the backcourt of Iowa State.
Jess, we were talking with Johnny Dawkins today, and we both led in with this is a very good team. We've talked about it. What do you feel will be the next step for the Knights to become a great team this year?
Their defense at the beginning of the year was not good, and a lot of that had to do with rebounding. Now, they were able to clean that up over the last couple of games and put them in a position to win some big games. And we talked about the mistakes down the stretch from the free throw line against Houston, but this has been kind of an aberration for them. This Iowa State just overwhelmed them, but they've got to keep their defense stout, right? They've got to continue to knock at open threes, and I think the extra pass is going to stand out in the film session. Getting it side to side. When they get it side to side and attack the paint, good things happen.
Jefferson dials up another three. A 30-point night for Joshua Jefferson. Taylor on the other end trying to get it back. No. Fight for the rebound inside, ripped out of there by Aksous. Taylor stripped of it. Watson on a run out. Good hustle play by Williams to prevent a little showtime from Watson.
Jefferson's been a star of stars in this one. Pick and pop action. Doesn't roll to the basket. This psychologically may be the night where he realizes how good he is, right? I mean, I think there's a maturity level that comes where you get to the point as an older player where you do not look at the stat sheet. You just go out and ball. They're on their feet for number 2.
30-point night for Jefferson, the first Cyclone to hit 30 since Caleb Grill did it. It's North Carolina back in 2022. Came into this game averaging 11 points, 8 rebounds, and he fills the stat sheet tonight. 30 points, 9 of 14 from the floor, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Free ball up by Mahovsky.
So all the subs come in for Iowa State, and they play just as hard defensively as the starters did. It's just in the DNA around here to guard your yard, load up, and everybody crash the boards. And Kyle Green, you got to give him so much credit. The defensive coordinator for Iowa State, TJ, and trust him with all the scouting reports defensively. And I can't believe Kyle Green's not a head coach somewhere. I mean, you talk about a guy who can guard and train kids to guard. There he is. Just a fantastic basketball mind, been in it a long time. And he's got his guys really playing well at that end of the court.
The youngest Cyclone, Noyes Indrusitis, the true freshman with a jump shot. Aksous misfires on the three, but some contact inside and a loose ball foul on the Cyclones. See some of the youth for both teams out on the floor now. We talked about Indrusitis. JT Rock, the redshirt freshman from Sioux Falls. Caden Fish, one of the talented recruiting class. TJ Otzelberger as well with Rock. Fish wearing number 11 out of Kansas City, Staley High School. Hendricks into the game for UCF. That Hendricks last name familiar. Of course, his twin brother Taylor becoming UCF's first lottery pick, first round NBA draft pick back in 23. Hendricks brothers very tight. Cyclones by 25 inside. This one won't go for Fish. Taylor with a nice crossover. He'll drive all the way in, kind of get caught up in no man's land, and nobody home on the pass to the wing. So Iowa State, after having the nation's longest win streak snapped in Morgantown, they have won 12 straight. They get back on the winning track against a very good UCF team. A high-scoring affair from Hilton Coliseum, but when the dust settles, it is Iowa State tonight, 108-83, your winner over the Knights.
Spectacular performance by the Cyclones coming off with a tough loss.